of the American people. The American people are tired of working longer hours for lower wages and seeing almost all new income and wealth going to the top 1%. They are tired of super PACs and a corrupt campaign finance system that allows billionaires to buy elections. They're tired of a broken criminal justice system, which enables us to have more people in jail than any other country on earth. They are worried about the future for their children. And they understand that unless we create an economy that works for all of us and not just the 1%, their kids are going to have a lower standard of living than they do, and we're going to see the end of the American dream, and we are not going to allow that to happen. And the American people understand that in this great country we can do what every other major industrialized country on earth is doing, and that is guaranteeing health care to all people as a right, and to guarantee paid family and medical leave, and by the way, to demand, when we have so much income and wealth inequality, that Donald Trump and the billionaire class start paying their fair share of taxes. So we feel great about tonight, not only in winning here in Indiana and accumulating some more delegates, but also gaining the momentum we need to take us to the finish line. And we are, we started this campaign way behind. Nobody, I think, would have dreamed that here at this particular point in May of 2016, not only would we be here, but we would be winning elections, but we are. So I sense a great deal of momentum. I sense some great victories coming. And I think that while the path is narrow, and I do not deny that for a moment, I think we can pull off one of the great political upsets in the history of the United States, and in fact become the nominee for the Democratic Party. And then once we secure that position, I have absolute confidence that we are going to defeat Donald Trump in the general election. Thank you.
Danny.
Senator Sanders, after tonight, it seems that Donald Trump is going to become the likely GOP nominee. Will you commit now to saying whether or not you think he is a racist?
Look, I don't have to label him. I think that he virtually every day has insulted one group of people or another, whether it is Mexicans and Latinos, whether it is Muslims, whether it is women, whether it is veterans, whether it is African Americans. Let us never forget that before Trump became a candidate for president, he was one of the leaders of the so-called birther movement, a movement which tried to delegitimize the presidency of the first African American president we have ever had. I'll let the American people decide the appropriate label. But this is a man who does not have the demeanor, does not have the policy background, or the ideas to become president of the United States. I would love to run against him, and I'm absolutely confident that not only we would beat him, but we'd beat him by a pretty large number.
How does the win in Indiana fundamentally change the race? Obviously, your delegate count
it's going to give us a great deal of momentum, because I think there are many in the media, like you and others, who have decided that the campaign is over. Well, I guess the people of Indiana did not quite agree with that assessment. And I think you may be surprised to find out that the folks, and I'm not predicting, I don't know what's going to happen, but the people of West Virginia may not agree with that assessment. And the people of Oregon may not agree with that assessment. And the people in our largest state, California, may not agree with that assessment. So we understand, and I do not deny it for 1 second, that we have an uphill battle in front of us. But I think we have a path to a victory, although it is a narrow path. Our goal is twofold. Number one, to win a majority of pledged delegates. Number two, it is to make sure that in those states where we have won landslide victories, 65, 70% of the votes, that the superdelegates in those states listen to their constituents and vote the way their constituents voted in their state's primaries or caucuses. And thirdly, we are going to make the case to the superdelegates. Many of them, by the way, came on board Hillary Clinton's campaign before I was even an announced candidate. They were there way back when. Well, the world has changed in the last year. And I believe that we will be able to make the case to many of those superdelegates that what is most important is not whether Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders is the nominee. What is most important is that we do not allow someone like a Donald Trump to become president of the United States. And I think that according to every poll that I have seen in the last month, Bernie Sanders defeats Donald Trump in the national polls by greater margins than does Hillary Clinton, and Bernie Sanders beats Donald Trump by greater margins than Hillary Clinton in battleground state after battleground state after battleground state. In other words, I think
Bernie Sanders just over the bridge from Louisville in Indiana tonight, which has handed him another victory. Remember, it was the Clinton campaign thought they were going to have this campaign wrapped up. More of our coverage right after this.